Hi everyone, my name is Christian Canizal. I'm a news reporter for NCTV 17. We're back out here this morning by Ranchview Drive and 75th Street where a tornado hit on Sunday night here in Naperville. Here's the after effects here. Now if you see behind me, some of the houses, some of the debris is still up in the air, but volunteers are swift in action this morning, dropping off supplies from toiletries, water, Gatorades, any food supplies you can think of. They are certainly coordinating that as well. So we're going to speak with a resident of this house over here on Nutmeg Lane, 1915. So his name is Leandro. We're going to give me a minute or so, and then we're going to grab him, interview him, talk about, what he's feeling, just the coordination of the efforts here today by the volunteers. What's that mean to him? So give me 1 second. Let me grab him for you. Hey, Leandro, are you ready real quick so I can grab you real quick? Thank you so much. So to my right, if we want to step up here, let traffic get out the way. We're going to step up in his driveway real quick, just make sure we're all safe here. Leandro, can I have you pronounce your first and last name for me?
Is Leandro Saez.
And then you're the owner of this house behind us.
Yes.
You told me off camera that, you couldn't believe what happened, but most importantly, your family's safe. How do you have this half full glass attitude even after your home was hit by a tornado?
As you said, when I look to my son's room, there is a lot of debris, woods on his pillow, so it's like 4 seconds, 2-3 seconds, we removed him from this room, and because of that, he's alive, right? So I have to be thankful. We are having all the support from insurance, from the community, so everybody's helping, so I cannot complain. This is just material stuff that you work to build again, rebuild again, but I think the most important, my wife is health, my son is health, we are health, so we are good, so I cannot complain, to be honest.
Well, I certainly give you kudos for having this half full glass attitude, and it's certainly a beacon of light to many community members. Can you tell me, where is your family at right now? Are you guys temporarily in shelter? Are you guys staying with loved ones?
No, right now, after the factory, we went to some friend's house because we didn't have clothes and nothing, right? So they supported us. Yesterday we went to a hotel, and now we are waiting for the insurance company, the forecast about how long they will take to rebuild the home, and they probably need to rent a new home. So again, we don't know where it will be tomorrow, but we are trying to continue the normal life, especially due to the kids and everything, to being nearby the school and everything.
And what does it mean to you see volunteers? I mean, you see right behind us here, there's food, there's water, any supplies you can think of. Community members have come, donated this. What does that mean to you?
Well, this is nice, right? So I think this is the good part of these occurrences, right? Because it's like our friends, everybody's trying to do something to help. You are the community, everybody that you talk about, they say, hey, what I can do for you? So we are glad to see that, because this like raise the best of the human being, right? So I'm glad to see this kind of attitude, and hopefully I can do the same for others when it's my time. But I thank you all guys that are doing that for us, right? It's really important, and I can help us to have this good attitude about these facts.
Is there anything I didn't ask you that you wanted to say to community members?
I just say thank you, right? So thank you very much for everybody, for the support, for the praying, for the attitude. So we are, as I said, when you see our home that we just rebuilt, we just did the renovation, we are sad, but again, it's just material stuff that we can do again, and hopefully our health to do again. And the most important is the environment, the people that are supporting. And again, it's difficult to say.
Well, thank you so much for your time. If you don't mind, we'd like to show community members around the house the damage, if that's okay. Thank you so much.
Okay, no problem.
So if you want to come with me over here, folks, this is Leandro's house over here. And as he mentioned, if you guys didn't hear him, he just renovated, parts of his house. But, throughout over here and throughout the ground, you can see remnants of the roof, trees, branches, pieces of the glass. So you got to be very careful over here if you're volunteering today. Make sure to wear closed-toe shoes, no sandals. The Naperville Fire Department is asking that, but it is, kind of dangerous over here still at the moment, just because there's so much debris left over from the tornado that hit on Sunday night. But if you look back here, folks, This looks something out of a movie. There's a tree that's almost uprooted, branches falling over. Leandro's neighbor has, it looks like some type of branch, things like that over. Looks like a grill has fallen over. Thankfully, the fire tank or the gas tank hasn't exploded or anything like that. So, it could have been a lot worse, as many community members and many city officials are saying. So we're going to go back up real quick, though. We're going to speak with a couple of volunteer people that help organize this or giving back today. And so we hope to speak with some of those members. One member that I'm hoping to speak with is Debbie. She is from Bike Bald. She and Chick-fil-A are coordinating efforts on giving out food, supplies, and other things for community members to have. So we're going to speak with her just right now. Give me 1 second. Let me grab her real quick. Going to try to coordinate some things with the Naperville Fire Department. If you can give me 1 second real quick. But my cameraman, Kevin Maychek, is going to give you a view of what's going on here 1 second. But if you can give me 1 second, ladies and gentlemen, to coordinate some things. So we're going to get the Naperville Fire Department in 2 minutes here. We're going to speak with Debbie real quick from Bike Bald because she's coordinating a couple of truckload of efforts of the supplies that you just saw right now. Hey, Debbie, do you mind if I grab you for 1 second?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Hey, Debbie, can I get you to pronounce your first and last name in the organization that you represent?
Sure, it's Debbie Mossberg, and it's Bike Bald Group.
And what does your group do exactly?
So on a regular basis, we're taking care of children with cancer and rare illnesses, and also giving back to the community any way we can to help support. During these different times, during the pandemic, we did everything like that. We take care of about 1,200 kids, but we have many kids in these community and in this neighborhood, and so that's what brought us all back through here and to get everybody together to come on out from our group.
You mentioned you have a couple of kids in your organization from here. When you saw the images of last night or on Sunday night, what was going through your mind?
Just calling the families, making sure they were okay. Was everybody good? Everybody's safe? It was rejoicing to hear their voices, and then to hear them say, "Can we come out and help? Can we do? Well, how can we collect stuff? Put our address down. We'll collect stuff." So, as you've seen, we brought in 6 truckloads today. We brought Chick-fil-A with us. We'll be back out tomorrow. We're gathering stuff here for these families that they've lost everything. So a lot of folks are displaced. I mean, it's our community. We need to.
Well, certainly kudos to you and good for you for organizing that. So let's talk about some of your efforts here. You've already said you brought 6 truckloads of supplies.
Truckloads.
What kind of supplies do we got?
So water, Gatorade, snacks, foods, trash bags, rakes,
Toiletries as well.
toiletries. It can be anything from napkins to anything that we can help them with. Gloves, work gloves, rakes, and different things like that to help. Chainsaws. We have guys that were up here last night. We've had some of our folks had been here since 11:30 on the night that it happened. Here going through.
And so, you mentioned that you have 6 trucks and you guys got plenty more coming on the way.
We have more coming. We have on our Facebook page on Bike Bald Group, we have there's several drop-off locations even to make it easier because obviously we don't want a lot of folks coming in here. You can't. So we deployed enough drop-off locations, one in Plainfield, one in Oswego, 2 in Naperville. There's plenty of locations to drop off stuff. And at all hours, anytime. And we'll be doing this for the whole week and going through as much as we can. And then some of these families will be adopting afterwards. We've got this lovely family that we're right here with and, taking stuff to them and different toys and clothes just to help their kids make it another adjustment in their life.
Wow. So as you heard, folks, Debbie and other organizations like Bike Bald are trying to organize things. That way they can limit the foot traffic going into that.
Exactly. So we've been kind of the hub, the foot bringing it all in. And, we have a lot of kids that came up through our program that now are firefighters. As you guys, most people know, we have a fire truck. We own one through the organization. So a lot of our folks went on to be, our young kids have been sponsored by us to go on to become firefighters and EMS teams and different things. So they're used to that. They're here. They want to help. It's the perfect avenue in collaboration.
I know you gave a shout out to your Facebook, but there's community members right now that want to help out. So how can they help out?
Right there, they can do, any of the gift cards. We're buying groceries. We're doing all this stuff. I can ask you, just please go to our Facebook page. There's a whole list of items that can be there. And we don't need clothes necessarily right now. We will in the future. This first phase, these folks got to see their front yard first, and we got to be able to get into their driveways. And right now, we have some kids that we're taking care of that have been displaced and they're in hotels, and we'll be asking for that stuff as we're going. And the best place I can tell you, because it's the quickest way for us, is on our Facebook page at Bike Bald Group. Is the best way. It's updated constantly.
Well, you heard it there, folks, and we heard it from Leandro previously speaking with Debbie. There are some people already in hotels that are displaced, so any way you can help, feel free to reach out to Debbie's Facebook page or the City of Naperville. They have a link on their website where you could donate. Thank you so much,
Thank
Debbie.
you.
Is there anything
Thank
I didn't
you.
get to ask you that you wanted to say?
No, I just, the community's wonderful, and it's been great seeing everybody just pull together. We're a nonprofit, but we're still people that live here. It does not matter, but if we can do this, we're going to be here till the end to do this. Even donations, financial donations, even we're getting it right to the families right now. That's the whole idea about us. It's going into the hands of where it needs to go right now.
Well, good for you, Debbie. And on behalf of the Naperville community, thank you so much for your
Thank
efforts
you.
today.
Thank
Appreciate
you,
you.
guys.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Debbie. And we're going to speak with the Naperville Fire Department and then Chick-fil-A afterward about, what can community members do. And we heard Debbie talking about trying to limit that traffic coming into here. So we're going to speak with the Naperville Fire Department. We have a couple of handsome gentlemen here with us today. Can I get you to pronounce your first and last name?
Sure. Phil Giannatasio and Division Chief, Naperville Fire Department. John Sargent, Division Chief of the Naperville Fire Department.
Phil, if community members watching right now, they want to help out. They want to say, hey, I want to be like Debbie. I want to go help out.
Yeah.
How can they do so?
The best way is going to be to contact the city's Community Services Department, formerly the City Clerk's Office. If you go to the city's website, they'll have a direct email address you guys can use. There's also the 305-5300 number, 630-305-5300 number that they can call.
Let's step on the side over here, guys. That way traffic can get through and we're safe. Sorry about that, Phil.
That's
You were
okay.
saying?
Yeah, so that number, it's through the Community Services Department for the city. 630-305-5300 is the best number to contact and get direct information on where is the best route to give or donate or volunteer. We're trying to not make sure that a lot of people don't show up with goods that aren't going to get used or services that aren't needed or for things that people aren't asking for. So specific requests and specific volunteers should go through the city's Community Services Department. So yep.
Let me jump in the middle here. That way we can switch out now. John, I know that you guys are working closely with the Public Works Division. Now, what is the Naperville Fire Department role today?
The fire department's role today is mostly coordinating a lot of these city services together, maintaining some security over the area with the police officers, controlling people in and out. And today also we were some secondary evaluations of homes for structural stability, gas leaks, any coordinating any of those services and getting them to where we needed to be to make sure that as people start to cover up these properties, that they're still safe.
And I was speaking with one of your colleagues off camera, and she said the important thing is that community members come in with PPE equipment, closed-toe shoes. Any other tips that you can offer community members who want to lend their services today?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Gloves, eye protection, closed-toed shoes. The last thing, I think yesterday we came out here for a couple of people injured, helping others cover up, and that just taxes our resources a little bit more when we're already spread thin with multiple areas of contact in the city that have damage like this. So, yeah, that's great advice. Come with the proper PPE. Come ready to work.
And Phil, what I'm seeing a lot of is community members bringing stuff, to the curb, and that's what you guys want, right? So it can make it easier for you guys to transport this stuff out. What is the best way that some cleanup crews are here today? Where should they place branches, trees, things like that? Where should they place that stuff?
Yeah. So again, a best way is going to be to make sure that you contact the city because they do have a program where you can file a notification for like a tree removal on the parkway, and there's a request form. But yeah, they want if they can tree removal debris to go to the curb, and then eventually the city is going to make their way out and start disposing of all of that natural debris that fell down. But it's probably going to take another couple of days for the city to work its way through trying to, remove all of the big debris out of the way and then finally start making its way to actually dispose of it. So, but yes, to the curb would be the perfect spot.
A firefighter's job is so selfless. And I just wanted to ask you from that perspective, what do you think of all the volunteers that, like Debbie, Chick-fil-A, and other community members that are here today volunteering their time and helping out their neighbors? What does that mean to you?
You know what it really does is it shows the integrity and the dedication of the people that live here. As we try to, our mission is to serve the public in Naperville. It makes it really easy to carry out our mission when you have people that are reciprocate like this, and in turn, show up when others need it. It just makes it really worthwhile, and it proves the reason why you do your job. So yeah, it's heartwarming to see.
And John, a last question. Is there anything I didn't get to ask you from the Naperville Fire Department side that you guys wanted to tell community members that want to help or are looking or concerned or anything like that I didn't ask you that you wanted to say?
Yeah, one thing that, and Phil, I might have touched on some of this, if you call the city, but also on the city's website, they have resources about how to contact your insurance company, some fraud alert stuff and scam alert stuff out there. There's a lot of reputable contractors that are going to show up to help, but there's also a lot of non-reputable contractors that are going to show up and offer you their services too. So to verify and vet some of those people, the city's website has an entire process of how to do that, and that's a good spot to go look, as well as call the number that Phil shared.
Yeah, and I spoke with another Naperville Fire Department official, and she said that the people that are here today, the professional crews that are here today, have to have a permit with the city of Naperville to have their crews out here today. That way, they could avoid situations like a fraud or anything of that type of nature. But Phil, last question, like I mentioned to John, is there anything I didn't get to ask you that you wanted to say?
No, I think we both would, and on behalf of all of us with the Naperville Fire Department, love to express our appreciation for you guys covering and making sure that the people that are impacted are getting resources, and that the general public knows where to help deliver volunteers and resources, and just thanks for all of the volunteers and residents that came out and helped us do our jobs and are helping all these people get their lives back together. So
well, Phil, it's our job, but we want to thank you as well for over the last year and beyond. You guys are the heroes. You guys saved some lives yesterday, preventing the situation. It could have been a lot worse. So, thank you from Naperville Community Television, but thank you on behalf of the Naperville community, because you guys are the heroes, man. So thank you so much, Phil. Appreciate your time. Thank you so much. So folks, like they said, the best place to see, get information, and if you want to help out, go to the city's website. They're going to have valid resources there. They're going to have information on sign-up volunteers, things like that, how to vet a professional crew if they want to help you out. Unfortunately, these situations tend to bring out people that want to take advantage of this situation. So the best place to visit is the city's website. I know on our website we have nctv17.com. We have links to the city's website where you could go see those sign-up sheets, things like that. But what we're going to do is walk you through a little bit over here, maybe talk to a couple more people about what their efforts are like today and what they hope to complete. Actually, we're going to get Chris right here if you don't mind. Hey, Chris, you mind give me a second real quick? Sure. Man, I saw you earlier on your bike, and your bike's over there by that tree. If my cameraman could point to that camera or to the bike over there. Man, you were leading the effort, kind of the charge a little bit on getting the community members out here, and you told me you live down the street.
Yeah, I'm right off of Bailey and Fender, so I'm on the other side of Worley. So yeah, yesterday after my training in the morning, I rode my bike run, not knowing how bad it was. It was about 6:40 in the morning, and the further I got into where the tornado was and on this side of Worley, I realized how bad it was. And I I went by some folks' houses, and they were outside just crying, and I knew people needed help. There were trees on people's houses and in their driveways, so I just reached out to some friends in my triathlete community and had some folks come out, and we just walked the community, and we just started cutting down trees and helping the neighbors just dig out from the destruction of the tornado. So, and today I came out this morning with a saw, finished up some trees down here. Most of the driveways are pretty clear in this neighborhood. There's a lot of debris, so I talked to Debbie over here with Bike Bold and just teamed up with her, and right now we're just working on getting food and supplies to families that live around here, and the workers and anyone else that needs anything, just as a way to give back.
Why? You could stay home. You don't have to do any of this. Why give back?
So long story, I'll try to make it short, but over the last 5 years, me and my family have been given a lot from the community, as my son was born with a genetic disorder, and he just rang the bell 3 weeks ago at Lurie Children's Hospital for end of treatment, end of care, and survived. And so for us, this was just a way for us to give back. So my little guy Mason and my other son Braden and my wife came out yesterday, and they were handing out donuts and coffee to people that live around here, the firefighters, police officers, news reporters, and I got to work just cutting down trees. But this was our opportunity to give back, because sometimes thank you just doesn't feel like enough. So it's very important to me and my family to give back, and this was one way for us to do that.
What are some efforts that you're planning on doing today? I know you've been here since yesterday, you mentioned, but what other efforts are you planning on giving out here?
Right now, we're just really focused on getting supplies to people who need them. The people that are out here working, spending time, they don't want to leave their homes. They just want to get out and work. So walking around, we've dropped some supplies off, but we just want to make sure that people are fed and supplies are getting out to people who need them. So this morning I was cutting down trees, and right now I'm just teaming up with Debbie and Bike Bald just to make sure that people have what they need to get through the day and through all this work.
Well, good for you, Chris. And Chris, I didn't ask you. Can you pronounce your first and last name for me?
Sure, it's Christopher Pritchett.
Thank you so much, Chris. I appreciate your help.
Thanks.
I appreciate it. And guys, like I mentioned, Chick-fil-A is here. Bike Ball is here. I was told that Chick-fil-A is giving out 200 sandwiches today. And then Bike Ball is delivering about 8 truckloads worth of supplies. They've already done 6. And I think Debbie said they're planning on doing 8 more later tonight. So 16 truckloads of supplies for community members out here that are volunteering, people that had their homes damaged and things like that. So, and if we continue over here towards Nutmeg Lane, heading towards east, you could see some of the debris here. If you looked at our coverage from last night, you see that some of the debris here is already put to the curb, is already cleaned up a little bit here. I'm going to try to ask one of these guys, how long they've been working on this stuff for. Hey guys, do you mind if I ask you a couple of questions on how long you guys been working on this stuff for, cutting down trees?
Since working on these trees for last couple days. Actually, since the day of. In the morning, when the storm hit, I got out in the 3 in the morning and started cutting down the trees because I had no access to get to the driveway or my cars or anything else.
You live in this home right here?
Yes, I do. Yes, yeah.
Can you walk me through what happened that night?
So I think it happened around 11 o'clock at night, and I was upstairs, and my kids were in the first floor in the basement. When I heard the siren, I told my kids to get down in the basement. That's when the storm hit really hard, and I hear it's like a sound like a freight train going by, and then pressure would build up so bad that my ears were popping, nails were coming out of the wall. And then it lasted probably 2 to 5 minutes, maybe, if that. It was a really quick hit, and then when we came out, it was devastated. I was in shock.
And you got quickly to work cutting down trees.
Yes, I was actually one of the first to come out and start cutting down the trees because my garage door was operating, but the tree was in the way. So I want to close the garage door, so I'll start cutting the trees by the garage door. And I had a saw, so I'll start cutting down the trees and branches.
I'm remembering this now because of this tree. There was community members out here from the National Guard out here yesterday.
Yes.
What does that mean to you from getting that support?
Yes, they were angels to me. There were about a good 10 people. And they weren't even asking anything. They just start grabbing things and start putting piles on this right here. And they were here for about, a good hour, maybe more, and to clean up this mess here. I mean, this entire house, front yard, driveway is covered with debris, and I could not have it done without them.
So if you don't mind me asking, what are the next steps for you and your family? Is your house still habitable, uninhabitable?
It is, as you can see, there's a sticker on the front door. It's deemed to be uninhabitable by the fire department, so they asked us to leave the building. So we are relocated to a hotel. And next step will be I'm in contact with the insurance company to finalize the next process and then hire a general contractor and to assess the damage and then go from there.
I wanted to ask you, the efforts here today, this morning. I know that you mentioned yesterday those guys were angels to you. Those ladies and gentlemen were angels to you. What does it mean to you to see it happen again? There's Water, food, anything like that.
You know, I realize that people are great. You know, people are great. We're helping each other, and this is all about love, right? We're spreading love by giving out water, food, and help each other, and that's what we need in this world. You know, it's too bad that we see this kind of help, and when things happen like this, but more of these sort of help will be needed throughout the world. Even if without disasters, we need a lot of love in our world. That's for sure.
Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you speaking about something that just happened a couple of days ago. I know it could be tough. But before I leave, can I have you pronounce your first and last name and spell that out for me?
Sure. My first name is Sung, Sung. Last name is Kwon, Kwon.
For anyone watching, Sung, how can community members help you? I know they want to help.
Just pray for us and pray for our quick recovery. And then I know there are some people hurt, and pray for their quick recovery. And then if they can come out and help us, there's still a lot that needs to be cleaned. So thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I know the city of Naperville is partnering with the Red Cross for monetary donations. That's on their website as well. Any food donations, I know they got that as well. So like the Naperville Fire Department officials said, anything that's, if you want to sign up to volunteer or, maybe donate some food or some money, you could do that through the city's website. But we're gonna keep walking towards Nutmeg Lane, and we're probably going to turn around here in a little bit. But as Sung just mentioned, there's still a lot of work to be done here. There are professional crews out here cleaning up debris, chopping down trees, getting them in machinery to make them into rubble. But people have been here since the a.m. I know me and my colleague Kevin Maychek got here around 7 a.m. and there was crews out here. And shout out to the Chicago Dutch soccer team, a newly formed women's semi-professional league out in Lisle, or soccer team, excuse me. They were out here. I would say about 15 to 20 of their soccer players were out here volunteering their time, trying to help out where they can. And I saw another community member from North Central College volunteering her time, giving out food and water and things like that. So community members have been out here since the a.m. There's not a lot. Now, if you remember last year from the pandemic, the destruction that happened in downtown Naperville was nothing to that magnitude in terms of the people that are out here today. But understand that is because of the work that is required to clean stuff up like this. It's not to say that a regular person couldn't do that, but cutting down trees, things like that takes some professional craftsmanship and people that are familiar with that type of work. So, it's not the regular average Joe community member out here today. It's more so the people that know and have that experience of cutting down trees, of having natural disaster works before. A lot of the Naperville Fire Department officials are out here today as well. Like they say, they're helping out community members, asking them, are you okay? Do you have any questions for us? Do you need to get any of your personal belongings like medications, clothing, things like that? If your home is uninhabitable or is not safe, you should contact the Naperville Fire Department to see if you can get inside your stuff to get those belongings there. But as you can see from the camera, there's a lot of trees still down here. Some are kind of leaning towards the side, but there's work to do in the next couple of days here. But we're going to turn around here, and then we're going to show you the house that was blown away over there by Ranchview Drive. So we're going to head back now, and a recap for those who are just joining us here today. Volunteer crews from, community members, the Naperville Fire Department and Public Works are out here today by 75th Street and Ranchview Drive, cleaning the aftermath of the tornado that hit Sunday night. That tornado left over 130 damaged homes. Around 20 of those homes are uninhabitable. Power lines are still out for some. Expect rolling outages, the city of Naperville said last night. So keep expecting that. I know we have a rolling news update on nctv17.com, where we update you guys on the latest information. So go check that out today. But the best thing, I guess, a silver lining from yesterday, or Sunday night rather, is that there was no fatalities. There was a couple of people that were taken to the Edward Hospital, but no one died as a result of this. There was one person that was critically injured, but I think her health has been upgraded to good conditions. So, thankfully that person is doing well, and all the other community members seem to be okay from this disaster. But what I see here today, folks, is what I've seen time and time Naperville do. They are rising to the occasion of a terrible situation. They are making best of what they can do. And as Sung mentioned earlier, it's about love out here today. There are community members here, giving out water, food, toiletries, anything they can, their time, just to try to help out. And that's what's needed right now after an event like this. There are some that have to relocate to a hotel, to their loved one's house or homes, because their homes are left like this, boarded up in disaster. And I spoke with Fire Chief Mark Pucknitis yesterday, and he told me a tornado is very sporadic. So to my left here and to your right, there's homes that are boarded up, uninhabitable. And to my right and to your left, there are homes that, there is some damages here, but their homes are okay. As you can see, this one right here, cars are perfectly okay. Besides the tree right there to the left, you wouldn't know if there was a natural disaster here. So it's very weird how a tornado works. He described it as sporadic. Nutmeg Lane seems to be, in my opinion, the most impacted area of the 75th Street and Ranchview Drive area that was hit the hardest. There is one home on the other side of this street that is completely decimated. There is nothing but rubble, debris, and furniture left at the house. I posted a picture yesterday on nctv17.com, on their Facebook page, and on my Twitter page as well, showing the before and after pictures of that. And I'll pull it up a little bit later once we get to that spot. But it is crazy. I also spoke with a community member here on 1907 yesterday, who told me that, unfortunately, she did not take the warning signs at first very serious, but after a couple of minutes, she realized the situation was life-threatening. She said she woke up to an explosion-like bomb sound. That's because of the thunder, that's because of the lightning, and because of the tornado that impacted her. She's saying she is staying with her. She says she's staying with her daughter now. The Naperville Fire Department did go into her garage yesterday and rescued her car and some medications, but thankfully she was okay. It could have been a lot worse. But if you remember our live stream yesterday morning, a lot of damage was still on the people's yards, but now it's on the curb, and that's where the city of Naperville will prefer it. That way, when they come, it's a little bit easier for them to kind of pick up. We're going to cut through here a little bit. And yesterday there was sides of houses that was completely gone, and now that's cleaned up a little bit. Some community members are obviously still a little bit displaced right now, haven't made their way back homes. But when they do, they will have to pick up this mess, and it's going to be a very sad sight to see their homes like this. So, but again, if you want to volunteer and help out in any way you can, the best place to go see how you can do that is on the city's website. And if you are out here, folks, the city of Naperville and the fire department ask that you wear closed-toe shoes. Be sure to wear PPE equipment. The last thing that the Naperville Fire Department needs is people getting hurt trying to help out. Limits their resources, and it takes away what, if someone else is in need, it takes away their time. So for that. But we're almost to the corner of where the house is decimated. Here we are on Ranchview. There is just trees littered throughout right here, though. Yesterday you couldn't get past the street, though. There was trees on the road, so most of the trees and big debris has been cleared out from the road. There is still some rubble here and there, but for the most part, things are cleared out. But if you see to my right here, you can see the impact that the storm had. The sides of the house are gone and wiped out, you know. This is a very good image. Here you see the chimney of this house just stuck right here. Now imagine if you're a person or a community member out here and you see your home like this, or you're seeing it outside your window. You know, thankfully no one was out here at this time, and you know, this could lead to some serious injuries here, potentially even death. But again, we appreciate you guys so much for tuning into our live coverage. If you guys can like and share this, that would be greatly appreciated. Again, my name is Christian Canizal. I'm here with my cameraman, Kevin Maychek. We are here at 75th Street, near 75th Street and Ranchview Drive, seeing the aftermath of the EF-3 tornado that hit Sunday night here in Naperville. The storm left over 130 homes damaged. Around 20 of those homes were deemed uninhabitable. Expect rolling outages. The city of Naperville said, if you want to help out, if you want to volunteer, you can go on the city's website to see where you could give out a hand. But to my right, you see the remnants of the storm. It's just unbelievable the amount of damage a storm like this could happen. Well, how's it going? But here you see a beacon of light, right? You see destruction right here to my right, and you see a stand right here. And I know this is just water and treats and Gatorade, but understand this is volunteer work. They are helping out. They are giving their time. They are donating, trying to help, and trying to spread love during this difficult time. So, beacon of light here during this difficult time. But here we are in the Campus Green neighborhood of the Ranchview Drive area. And we are now approaching the house that has been impacted the most by this. You see community members there boarding up a house. Now, what's crazy is the destruction a tornado can have in one area and the sporadicness it could have in another area. This house is completely gone, vanished, and this house is still left standing. So, give you an idea of how tornadoes work. Now, I'm going to pull up an image here. On the Naperville Community Television Facebook page. It's an illustration of the before and aftermath. Of yesterday's home. So, Kevin, let me know if you can see this. No, you can't get a good image. Too much sun, he's telling me. But it's a before and after picture of the home right here. If you go on NCTV 17 Facebook page, there should be an image. The before picture was taken in 2018, and the image was taken yesterday. And it's completely gone. City officials told me that this house was the most impacted house of the storm yesterday, and our hearts go out to those that were impacted by that, and we're certainly thinking of you today. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to volunteer, if you're thinking about how can I help, the best place to do that is to go visit the city's website. There you could make monetary donations to the American Red Cross. You could also see what donations or volunteer signups are available. The city, the Naperville Fire Department asks that you wear PPE equipment if you do come out here today. The last thing they need to do is spending their resources on helping those volunteering and helping out. But I have seen the city of Naperville risen before, and I hope to see it again. during this difficult time, the best thing you could do is just spread love and be a good neighbor and be a good person. But that's going to be it for us here today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in live. We always appreciate your guys' support and feedback. We really appreciate it. Before you guys head on out, if you guys can like and share this, that would mean the world to us. And thank you guys so much. We are certainly thinking of you at NCTV 17, and thank you guys so much for your time. But it's going to be it for me and Kevin Maychek for NCTV17.com. I'm Christian Canizal.